Hi everyone. Ermin Beth Simmons here with your midweek moment as the dump truck goes down the road. We have a lot going on at our house this week. We've got construction happening, more concrete. We had the electrician here yesterday, shut off the power for the day. The highway department was doing culverts and stuff, so our road was closed yesterday. We've got a lot going on, and I feel like that's a good example. I'm here down in the garden, and I can still hear the dump truck and the excavator and all the other things. Even if I want to just stop everything to get a moment's of peace, things don't really stop. And I feel like that's how life is sometimes. We get really overwhelmed. There's so much going on. We have a death of a loved one to deal with, or work projects, or family situations, or, church responsibilities, volunteer stuff, sports, all the things, right? And that's like all the regular demands, not even the idealistic demands we would like to do, like doing a garden. I'm out here in my garden, or cooking fresh food, or whatever. We sometimes just feel like we don't have time for. And at least for me, I sometimes wish I could just hit pause. Just press the pause button for like a day or two to catch up, to catch my breath, to take a moment. And that doesn't happen. We can't do that. So what we've got to do is be really intentional about making and taking space for rest, for peace, even if it means coming down to the garden and you can still hear all the construction happening, to just step away, take a moment of do not disturb, even if it's just mentally, even if you're just in the midst of a crowd of people and you just take 15 seconds to just take a breath, say a prayer if that practice works for you, ask for God's help in finding peace and calm and steadiness. If you have more than 15 seconds and you are able to carve out some time for study, for a time with the scriptures, with some poetry, with some learning, do that. Or to listen to a piece of music or do some art. I stepped away from life yesterday with my children, even though everything is going on and I'm behind on things, and we needed a day. So we took it. And it was lovely to be fully present with them without demands of everything else. And I did a little tiny watercolor painting in a museum studio, and I looked at art and I played, and it was just wondrous. And now I'm back into the thrum of things and the rush. But I think I'll be more intentional about maybe starting my day just a tiny bit earlier, or giving myself space at the end of the day to just sit and be, to listen. Because when we don't have space, when we don't give ourselves space for peace, for breaks, for rest, it's really hard to hear God, to hear that divine spirit guiding us and nudging us, or it's really hard to be creative and think of new things, and we just sort of get in this mode and keep going, and it's really hard. And so I think sometimes I often use a text from the gospel according to John at funerals, and it's Jesus talking to the disciples, his friends, as he prepares them for his death that he knows is coming. And he's giving them sort of advice and teaching them the last lessons they'll need to know to carry on his work after he dies. And what he offers them is peace. And he says, peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. I do not give as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. And that passage has sort of been running through my head recently. The world is not going to give us peace. It's just not. And if it does, it's usually in a way that we don't appreciate. For instance, through illness. Like, okay, you want rest? Here you go. Now you're in forced rest, which is never actually very restful, is it? So we have to recognize and find that peace in other ways, and enforce it on ourselves, even if the sounds and busyness of life continue on around us, to draw from an inner well of peace to sustain us through. So friends, I hope that wherever you are, whatever you're doing this week, now we are officially in summer. We have crossed the summer solstice. I hope that in these longer days that you are able to find some peace, some pause, some refreshment and nourishment amidst the busyness and to-do lists and chaos of your own lives. And I encourage you right now, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, to take the next few moments with me in a time and reflection of reflection and prayer. Holy One, amidst the din of industry, amidst the call and push to productivity, to busyness, amidst all the forces around us out of our control, which cause chaos and overwhelm and continuous action. God, give us a nudge, gentle, we hope, to step apart, step away for moments, for hours, for days, if we can, to press pause with ourselves, even when the world continues. To take time to grieve if there is mourning to be done. To create, to feel, to rest, to just be, and know that being is enough. To listen to our breath amidst the sounds around us. To listen for birds and bees and the grass growing. To listen for our own heartbeats. Even you, God. After 6 days of creating and doing and building, stopped. And as the world continued around you, you rested. May we do the same. Amen. Friends, have a wonderful rest of your week and enjoy your summer.